morning. Good, beautiful last morning of the school year. I'm very happy that we have finally got here till the end. Forgive me if you find me overzealous, but it's been a rough year. Rough to get here. Anyway, on this morning, I want to talk to you about what it takes to get there. And different people have different metrics. I mean, one of the most common is the 100 hours to expertise. For some people, it will take 100 hours. That may well even be some things, not just people. For some things, it will take 100 hours. That's what it takes. But I think whatever the length of time it takes, it is worth noting the process for gaining expertise so that you would know how to manage yourself and regulate yourself as you pursue it. I like picking out the stages to points so that you can know the stages and you can evaluate yourself versus them and can know where on the journey you are at each point in time. For me, I find it refreshing. So on the break free process, I know that I'm in step 3 or 4. It's refreshing because I'm actually closer to the end than I am to the beginning. So I like it. It helps me to calm my nerves and to keep going. So mastery. There is a journey to mastery. And this is all component of my research area. So forgive me if this becomes a bit academic. I can only tell you what I know, and from the domain I know them. To learn something, most of us often come as novices, new people, clueless people, Kelly, confused people, don't know anything people. Yeah? Then we start learning. And how a novice learns is very different from how other people learn. So at the moment, I'm learning TikTok. I may well be a novice in TikTok, but I'm not a novice content creator. So my learning of TikTok, the way I am able to get on, my friend was telling me, well, the way you've jumped onto this TikTok, the way you are taken to this TikTok, and I'm like, okay, hold on. I am brand new to TikTok. And yeah, TikTok is a whole zoo. However, I am a very experienced content creator. I am very used to working on the platforms. So the way I'm learning TikTok is not going to be the same way as a brand new person to social media will be learning it. You will learn differently depending on where on the learning journey you find yourself. So those who have no schemas, those who have no frameworks, those who don't have Miss Etha, it's been a long time. Good to see you. Those who have no frameworks, those who have no baselines, they are novices. And when novices come to learn, they bring a lot of confusion. They bring a lot of ignorance. They bring a fresh canvas. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but there are no schemas. And so when people like that come, they will require a lot of support. They will need to borrow schemas. They will need hand-holding. Novices are dependent learners. And when they don't know what they are doing, they are not independent thinkers, typically. They will need somebody to tell you, go live. Yes, press here, do it. Okay, yeah. Click here, click on that button. They are learning under instruction because they don't know what they are doing. Yeah, there's a lot of confusion. After somebody has told you to press here, to go here, to do this for a while, you actually begin to build your own schemas. Yeah, at that time you are getting better, and so you are able to do certain things for yourself. But doing certain things for yourself is slow. You know why, Camille? It's slow because you have to think about it. and overthink about it before you do it. That's the second stage of learning. When you are beginning to do for yourself and think for yourself, you are very slow. Very slow. It takes you a long time. Sister, it's been a long time. Good to see you. It takes you a long time to process. And you are prone to mistakes. Most of your mistakes will be due to overthinking. I was working with a friend of mine and the person says, I'm overthinking again, right? Yes, you are overthinking. You are only in the second stage of learning on this journey. So overthinking is the norm. Long time in here. Overthinking is the norm. Overdoing is the norm. And the crisis of confidence is the norm. If you don't have a crisis of confidence, you are not in stage 2. You don't know what you're doing, Yvonne. You don't know what you're doing. And you know that you don't know what you're doing. And you are scrambling. So yeah, you are prone to making mistakes. You are prone to doubt, overthinking, second guessing, and so on. After a stage of doing that, especially after winning some success in doing whatever it is you are trying to learn, your nerves calm. You begin to have faith in yourself. You know, you are competent, but you are still somebody who needs to think. You are aware of your competence. You have your schemas, and you will fall on your schemas, and you will use them. You are competent, but you are still not in the top of your game. At the top of your game, you have mastery. The difference between stage 3 and stage 4 is marked. It's significant. You see the way I am driving right now. I have been driving more than 20 years. And this car alone has done 250,000 kilometers now. That's how much on the road experience that I have. When I am behind the wheel, I don't need to find where the accelerator is. Intuitively, I know where it is. She's listening. Oh, lovely, lovely. Oh, it's wonderful that some of you bring your daughters to have these conversations. Yeah. Intuitively, I know what to do. And as you can see, I'm very relaxed behind the wheel because I know what to do. This is what you do at Mastery. At Mastery, you don't think. You are effortless. And because you don't think and you are effortless, you are fluid. It's beautiful. Stephen, good morning. How are you? It doesn't matter what the driver in front of me does. I am not apprehensive. I will respond. I know where all my controls are. I do. I've been doing this for such a long time. I am very comfortable in what I can do. It's the same thing as when you see people in the arts in particular exhibit this. Now in the classroom, I will plan things. There is no high drama really in the classroom for me. None. I will take care of core principles. Don't need to perform for nobody. Don't need to do nothing. Don't think about it. Somebody came to see my lesson some time ago, and the person was telling me, well, it's very funny how you do these things and make it look, it almost looks as if it is an afterthought. You and the things you do for higher order learning, it is almost an afterthought. You just, yeah, you are able to do things as an afterthought. Her name, yes, what's her name? Afriye. Afriye, hello. Afriye, it's good to see you. You know, I am so jealous of girls like you, Afriye, whose moms will put you on feeds like this, to hear conversations like this when you are young, and you can utilize it for extended lengths in your life. So big ups to both you and your mom for being here this morning. Yeah, you know, when you see a pianist, a master pianist, all the many keyboards on the piano are all ingrained in their memory. They know where the keys are, and that's when they are able to do the cool things like close their eyes and play. I've seen a pianist do that, close their eyes from pure enjoyment, and they played. And as they played, you could almost feel where the vibes were as they played. I'm like, whoa, this is beautiful. It's fluid. They know what they are doing, they trust what they are doing, and they do it so well that it's beautiful to look at. That is a master at their game. That is a master at their game. When I'm yapping on these social media streets, in these monologue conversations, it looks easy. It looks very easy. I mean, how difficult it is. All you need to do is turn your camera on and just talk. Somebody said to me, like, okay, go off and do it, and we will discuss it in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I found that they made one live feed and froze. I'm like, what happened to the easy thing of turning your camera on and speaking? And then she's like, well, when I turned the camera on, it was not that easy. I'm like, oh, why wasn't it easy? All you have to do is open your mouth and speak. It looks effortless because it's very well rehearsed. In fact, this is one of the hardest things to do, a monologue. Exactly. A monologue is a very difficult thing to do because, as Sister Ya has said, you've got to have a logical sequence to what you're doing. It's got to make sense. And you are speaking and thinking and organizing at the same time. It's hard. It is hard to do a monologue and to tick off all the boxes to get people to engage with you rambling on. It's difficult. It's a lot easier to hold conversations. So those who do podcasts, who bring people on, who have audiences, who have groups of people who are on at the same time, that's easy. The multi-person conversation format is a whole lot easier than the monologue. But if you see somebody, a monologuist who's done it for a long time like I do, and I'm sat here talking to you, it sounds like just a conversation. Well, just a conversation is not exactly that easy to have on your own. Because remember, I am not getting any feedback off you guys. I'm talking, I'm a mad woman talking, essentially. I'm a mad woman talking. Nobody else is responding. If you have dialogue, it's not too difficult. You say something, they say something, you respond to what they said, they respond to what you say, and you bounce off each other. Easy. But here I am talking by myself, bouncing off by myself, exciting myself. And in fact, the reason why this conversation is able to keep going is because I envisage what your responses will be. I anticipate them, and then I react and respond to what you haven't even given me. Difficult. But because I've done this now for such a long time, another group of people who make this very, very obvious is the comedians, the stand-ups. There's a new girl that I have discovered who is so cute. She's like my daughter. She's just a little bit older than my daughter, but she is so silly and she's such fun. She's a Kenyan Australian girl. I need to even figure out her name. I just see her feed and I'm all over her. Anyway, this kid doesn't seem to have a script. She comes to the stage without a script, and she asks a question and she freestyles. Freestyling is a very difficult thing. Freestyling speeches is difficult. Freestyling anything is difficult. But she would ask something like, hey, her common intro is, hey, black girl, hey. And the other black girl will say something. And sometimes she has two things. I'm very sure she's planned it in her head. If the black girl says something that is positive and affirmative, she jumps straight on and then they bond. If the black girl behaves in a way that doesn't suggest that they are on board, she will say to her, you are one of them. Are you a bounty? And people are like, oh, bounty. Yeah, you know, brown on the outside, white on the inside. And people are like, what? Oh my God. There's a set where she saw an Indian person in there, and the person says they were from Uganda. And she jumped straight in, and they started talking about all sorts of random things. It went on for a long time, but yeah, that is tiki-taka dialogue, unplanned. Amazing. Incredibly difficult to do. But when you see this girl do it, and you see her do her cutesy little things, you may be fooled to think it's easy. It's not. The reason why it looks easy to you is that the person is at mastery. The good thing about mastery is that it can be achieved. The other thing about mastery is that it has a threshold of effort before you get there. My ability to sit here and have this dialogue with you in this fluid version for such extended period of time. Well, my page was opened on the 6th of September 2018, the page. I started having these conversations in April 2018, and I have been almost every single day in that time live, practicing live dialogue. Well, not dialogue actually, live monologue. I have been practicing it since 2018. So obviously, I've figured out how to do this. Obviously, I've got my own schemas and frameworks. Obviously, I know the things that I do that seems to get my audience going. Obviously, I'm able to do this because I have gone past the threshold. And if you are starting something new, the magic number that a few people have managed to throw out there is 100 hours of constant practice. Not 100 hours of just repeating the same, no. 100 hours of trying new things, of refining things, of actually engaging to learn. 100 hours. You see it with sports people all the time. They go for training. Well, they train so they can get the threshold met. Anybody who's ever played with Cristiano Ronaldo will tell you that he is first in training and last out. Well, that's part of the reason why you see Cristiano play the way he does. Cristiano, when he played, was playing at mastery. I know there's nothing novice about mastery. Nothing novice about mastery. And no, it doesn't effortlessly turn up. Sorry, mate. Those of you who like that. Oh, you are just a natural speaker. No. That's disrespect to me. I'm not a natural speaker. I am a very well practiced one. I work very hard for it. Thank you very much. No, nobody was born with nothing. But their dad is a good pianist, it's true. But I've also seen very good pianist children who never play the piano, who are not pianists. My dad played multiple musical instruments. Well, clearly, I can barely do any music. My ability to music is refined and reserved to singing. And even the singing, I can sing the words if you teach me the tune. I can't read a musical script for nothing. And my dad was very good at it. Why can't I do music? Because I was not interested and I never learned. Never practiced. Yeah. No, they are not very good at doing whatever because their dad was good at it. No, it's not genetic, honey. That's disrespecting people's effort. It takes effort. And it takes sustained effort. It takes sustained effort, which requires you to push yourself beyond boundaries, to take yourself out of your comfort zones, to experiment. And there is an element of trust in self that is required on this journey. How will you learn to trust yourself? You will learn to trust yourself when you find yourself capable of doing things. You do. Trust comes with track record. Now, what is track record? Track record is you doing things and keeping a record of it. Effort, time, perseverance, absolutely. 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 Taisha. Yeah. So the stages to learning and performing at mastery. Stage number 1, you are a novice, you are clueless, you don't know what to do. Stage number 2, you become conscious of your ignorance and you do something about it. You still are not good at it. You probably suck as much as you did when you were blissfully ignorant, but you start making some progress. Stage number 3, you become good and you are conscious of how good you are. If you are a conscious performer, if you have to still think about what you are doing, you are at stage 3. Mastery is unconscious, beautiful, effortless, superb performance. That's all it is. Mastery is unconscious. If you are conscious about how good you are, if you are conscious about the schemas you are using, if you have to think about it, you are only at stage 3. Real mastery, you don't have to think. So you will find a pianist jump straight on. Was it last summer? Last summer when I was traveling with the kids, we got to Brussels and the airport had a piano. And my son jumped on the piano and the first thing he says to me before he started playing is, okay, look, I might be able to play something, but it will not be very good. I'm like, boy, okay. That's because he doesn't rehearse much. He knows how to play the piano, but he had to think about which piece he wanted to play. And he had to think about the notes that he was playing. And so the music is not very fast. The music is slow. Why? Because the boy was playing at conscious capacity, but not at mastery. When you are at mastery, you don't think. Oh Lord, you don't think. It just happens. It just happens. That's why everybody else seeing it thinks it's effortless, because actually it is effortless. It is unconscious, effortless, beautiful, fluid performance. And in speaking, I manage to get myself to mastery occasionally, and when I do, the reasons why the performance is so beautiful is because I am so comfortable in knowing what I'm about to say. I never worry about what I'm about to say because I have rehearsed it down to a T. And then the funny thing about that point is when you are brave, you are not really focusing on the process of what you are doing. So you are bold, you are brave, and you are able to make new decisive choices that make it beautiful. That's where you close your eyes and play the keyboard, because you know that you will still know where the keys are. So you are confident enough to close your eyes. And that is what brings the performance to a new level, really. The audience are not used to seeing anybody play with their eyes closed. So when they see you with your eyes closed, they know that you are doing something extraordinary, something unique. And that's what's beautiful. You will not close your eyes or attempt to close your eyes to play a piano if you were not sure that you are not going to make a fool of yourself. Nobody likes to make a fool of themselves. Can you get out of the way, you? Yeah. So why do I share this? I share this because many of you are on learning journeys. A lot of you are getting really impatient with yourself. You want to be able to do it the way she does. Well, it takes a certain number of hours of practice before you get where she is, before you can do it the way she does. It takes a certain number of hours to be able to do that. The threshold, the typical number that most people cite is 100 hours. Yeah. Anyway, today is going to be a miniskirt day. let us do a half day, I hope. So let me go and do my mini skirts quickly. Now that I will be on holidays, we shall talk some more. We shall engage some more. And I'm going to publish the courses that I have threatened to publish for the last few weeks. Yeah? Cool. I speak to you soon. Bye.